So what made you sought after this fight with Canelo?
Canelo's a great fighter. You know, he's respected. I'm a fan of Canelo. And like I said before, Canelo is the last of the great fighters that's available to fight. Canelo's at 168. It's a big task, but I'm always up for it. Big risk, big reward. And I want to be the first ever boxer to be a 3-weight undisputed world champion.
Talk to me about like the business of this fight, because it's live on Netflix. This is your first time fighting on Netflix.
Right.
How does this fight come together as opposed to like typical fights that you've had in the past?
Well, it's all the same. You know, at the end of the day, you got the promotion, you got the network coming out, and they shooting you, and they promoting the fight. It's just, you know, on a different network.
This is the best fight in boxing, bar none. You know, we've got two of the best fighters in the world, and Terence Crawford trying to do what no other's done before, a 4-division world champion, and, you know, jumping up from light middleweight now to super middle, trying to achieve the unachievable against Canelo Álvarez, who is pound for pound. Can he do it? I think he can. I think that this guy creates history. Terence Crawford.
Spencer Oliver warned Canelo that he's about to face the toughest challenge of his career. He believes Terence Crawford is aiming to make history and is stepping into a high-risk fight where legends are made or broken. Even Eddie Hearn, who used to support Canelo, is now leaning toward Crawford. Oliver added, if Terence Crawford chooses to fight smart and stay elusive, he's going to do very well. Just that idea shows how dangerous Crawford is. If a veteran promoter like Hearn thinks Canelo could struggle against Crawford's tricky style, it's not just talk, it's a serious warning. Canelo may spend the entire fight chasing shadows while Crawford makes it a nightmare. Hearn's shift in support speaks volumes and shows that what once seemed unlikely is becoming real. He made it clear that this fight is about more than just two stars facing off late in their careers. The real focus is on weight and the challenge it brings.
And you know, it's two guys that are coming towards the back end of their careers, but two legends, pound for pound legends of the sport. A fascinating fight between two guys with tremendous ring IQ. I guess the big conversation is how the weight will affect Bud and how he will respond to the size. You know, we got a situation where in Los Angeles, Crawford didn't look that big against the 154. In fact, I thought Madrimov looked the bigger, the stronger guy in that fight. I thought it was a very, very close fight, that fight. Now you're going up 2 divisions at 168 for Canelo Álvarez, who is, you know, a pound for pound legend of the sport. Against Skull, he didn't look great. You know, the movement didn't look great. I didn't think his legs looked fantastic.
Hearn told the audience that Crawford didn't seem huge at 154, and now he's moving up to 168 to face one of the strongest champions in the sport. This step up in weight is the ultimate test of how far he can go. Hearn also mentioned that Crawford's greatness often defies logic. This fight will reveal whether skill alone can overcome size. Karn then highlighted the real risk. What happens when the super middleweight bout begins? He said, that's the real $1 million factor.
That's really the $1 million question. How can he hang at 168? When you spend time with both of them, they're both so confident, you actually can't see him losing. Bud talks a brilliant game, and he's walked the walk continuously. And he has probably the best boxing IQ in the game. I probably, and you know, Canelo's my guy, but I probably lean slightly.
Hearn said both fighters are so confident that it's tough to see either one losing. He leaned toward Crawford and praised his intelligence and adaptability. Hearn added that, while he's always admired Canelo, the odds now slightly favor Bud, and people are showing a lot of respect for Crawford after this surprising development. Hearn agreed with what many fans were saying. Even though Canelo was the clear favorite, he hasn't taken anything for granted.
I think Bivol really did set the blueprint of how to beat Canelo Álvarez. You know, what you do is you're slick, but you throw punches in bunches, you move into range, bomb, 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 out of range. You do it again, because Canelo's not that active. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. And he hates movement, hates it. Crawford's got, Crawford, to be honest, Crawford's got to probably make it a little bit of a...
In the same breath, Hearn said he wouldn't be shocked by an upset. Even before Crawford enters the ring, He's already proven that names and odds don't define him. For Hearn, the fight isn't about the fans. It's about whether Crawford can rewrite expectations and show what's possible in boxing. These remarks make Crawford one of the sport's most dangerous underdogs. Hearn also reminded everyone of Canelo's loss to Dimitri Bivol, a fight that still lingers in people's minds. That match serves as a potential blueprint for what Crawford could do.
In there and just win rounds. And I think Crawford will win rounds in those fights.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially the early rounds. So Canelo may have to do something and try and, because he's not that active. I don't think he really wants to work.
Hearn explained that Bivol's smooth movement, powerful punches, and steady pace gave Canelo trouble, something Crawford does exceptionally well. If Crawford keeps Canelo moving, he controls the fight. Hearn's point was clear: if Crawford hasn't changed since that fight, he could lure Canelo into the same errors. This fight will show how much Canelo has learned from past mistakes. Karna added that the opening rounds are crucial and believes Crawford is ready to take charge from the start.
Smaller fighter, but the more this fight goes, it's more 50-50, and more people are starting to respect this man because he's been posting social media. He looks bigger. He looks like a muscular fighter, not like an out-of-shape lightweight or welterweight coming up in weight. He looks like a legitimate, muscular, middleweight type fighter. I love the fact that he's actually marketing himself, getting great sparring, the running, the videos, and just he looks like a beast, man. So I love everything he's doing to promote this fight and to show everyone this. I'm not the smaller man here. It's going to be an equal size fight when it comes to...
Hearn believes Crawford will take early rounds before Canelo can settle in, using his speed and accuracy to gain an edge. When Canelo has to play catch up, the pressure builds fast. Ultimately, Hearn thinks Canelo will face challenges with time and momentum but could pull ahead if he starts strong. The fight story might be decided in those opening rounds. American fighter Sergio Mora also weighed in, noting that Crawford's new look is changing how people see the fight. He added that appearance can sometimes matter as much as skill when it comes to perception.
But he's an athletic fighter. I mean, he has a wrestling background. I think he put on the right muscle. He's not soft in the midsection. You could tell that he still carries that muscle right. It's like whenever you do go up in weight and you see the muscle around the shoulders and the biceps and the back, that's when you're like, wow, okay, this is impressive. You see him deadlifting. He's a strong fighter. And he did it the right way. Just like Roy Jones Jr. when he went to heavyweight. He didn't look heavy. He looked just as muscular, only he did it, the muscle were in the right proportion places. I think Bud looks...
Mora said Crawford's natural welterweight build has silenced many of his critics. His training photos, sparring videos, and physical condition all send a clear message. At his size, he's not holding back. This new perspective makes it feel like the fight is now on even ground. Mora believes Crawford's body and mind are fully prepared, which adds a lot of unpredictability to the matchup. Mora also focused on the athletic side of Crawford's weight gain, showing that his size isn't just for show, it's effective and powerful.
Physically spectacular. He clearly has put on the weight in the right way. And this is not the case of a guy having a couple of months to get up to 168 pounds. He has basically been preparing for this moment for the better part of a year. Like, he knew that it was Canelo Álvarez or bust. So he's going to come in, I think...
Mora said Crawford's new muscle looks natural, well-balanced, and ready for action. From his shoulders to his back, his whole body now appears strong. He even suggested that Crawford's transformation mirrors Roy Jones Jr.'s famous weight gain, putting him in impressive company. Chris Mann also shared his thoughts, noting that Crawford hasn't rushed or skipped any training. He emphasized that every step has been part of a careful plan to prepare Crawford to challenge Canelo Álvarez.
I said it, I think that he lives with any welterweight. His best weight really has been at welterweight. He lives with any welterweight in any division for me. And that's including all the greats, going back to your Roberto Durans, Sugar Ray Leonards, all those guys. I think that he is that good. And we find out in September. It's going to be a fantastic.
He said Crawford's body looks right at home because the move up in weight was carefully planned, not a last-minute decision. The preparation has been going on for a full year. Every training camp, lift, and run was designed to handle the speed and size at 168 pounds. With that level of dedication, it's clear Crawford isn't just testing himself. He's aiming to win, and history is made when preparation meets ambition. Spencer Oliver also told fans that Crawford was different even at welterweight, and now he doesn't just fit into this division. He's one of the best ever.
That Crawford will beat Álvarez, and I'd like to see him beat Álvarez, quite frankly.
I mean, a joint 70 knockouts in their careers.
They're incredible.
Is this going to go the distance?
Insanely, I think it will. I think because they're both technically that good and they're both very durable. That's how they've become the superstars of the sport of today. You know, they both can take a shot. They both mix it up. They'll both sit in the pocket. You're going to have excitement for sure because they will both go for it. They're both spiteful, very heavy-handed, but I think they both hit.
Oliver said Crawford's skills will always matter and even compared him to legends like Duran and Leonard. That kind of connection shows the huge respect he commands. This isn't just another fight. It's a chance to see where Crawford belongs in boxing history. According to Oliver, Crawford's brilliance is facing its ultimate test, and the outcome could change how people view his place among the sport's immortals. Oliver then focused on the fight itself, predicting a clash where neither man will give an inch, since both are too skilled to back down.
Crawford's extra boxing IQ and the fact that he's moved up them weight divisions, who Canelo moved up from welterweight as well. He's gone through the weights as well. So when you look at them sizing up now, Crawford actually looks bigger than him right now. But Canelo's developed as a super middleweight. He's accustomed to being super middleweight now, whereas Crawford isn't. But I think that extra movement will be enough for Crawford. And I think he will be able to sit in the pocket when he has to against Alvarez. But be sure this one will be a barnstorm.
He talked about how strong, tough, and resilient both fighters are. That combination guarantees action from the very first bell. He said, "This fight is so tough because neither man gives up." For Oliver, it's not about any single problem in the fight. It's about how long they can handle it. His point was clear. This fight isn't ending early. It's built to go the distance, and by the final bell, fans will have witnessed a modern classic. Oliver also analyzed the key matchup of the night, Canelo's natural strength and size against Crawford's intelligence and strategy.
The thing is that the difficulty that most people would put to Terence Crawford is the size element of things. But I think if he's going to fight Sal Alvarez, it's the right time to fight him now because we're seeing elements of decline in Alvarez. Okay, the dance partners has been forced to fight against William Skell, didn't come to fight, did they?
No.
But Crawford, it'll be interesting to see how their styles gel and how the fight proceeds. But having watched Crawford like you have done from the moment he landed on these shores to deal with Ricky Burns all those years ago to the manner in which he dismantled Errol Spence and stepping up the weight classes, I'm in Spencer's camp. We're both in the same position, aligned, foolishly together perhaps, in the belief that Crawford will beat.
He agreed that Canelo is an experienced super middleweight who's comfortable at the weight, but he also highlighted Crawford's ability to move, stay flexible, and fight smart when it counts. Oliver said that ring intelligence could make the difference in winning the fight. He described it as a clash of raw power versus brains. Oliver believes fans are in for a show that could define both careers, since both fighters are built to deliver excitement. This matchup could make Canelo even stronger or make Crawford even sharper. In a bold statement, Simon Jordan admitted that Crawford's size is the only concern for most people, but it may not matter. He insisted that now is the perfect time for Bud to face Canelo.
Take that journey up to light heavy and find himself coming up against Dimitri Bivol and not being able to do what he does at super middleweight. I just think that Crawford is such a fighter of such stature and competence that he might just be the kryptonite to...
Jordan said Crawford's best chance is right now because Canelo is starting to show signs of decline. He recalled Crawford's rise, from crossing the Atlantic to fight Ricky Burns to his dominant win over Errol Spence. That journey through the divisions has shaped a fighter ready to tackle the impossible. While Jordan still believes Crawford has the skill to beat Canelo, he sided with Spencer Oliver, calling it more than research, it's a vote of confidence. He also reminded fans of Canelo's loss to Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight, proving that even the greatest champions can be defeated.
I'm in a press conference and I've seen Canelo saying, name me one elite fighter you've beaten. He kept saying, just one elite fighter. As everyone forgot about the Errol Spence win. Because for me, the Errol Spence win was an elite win. Yeah. Errol Spence was reigning and dominant in the welterweight division, was beating everybody. And he went in there and beat Errol Spence up. So there's the first elite win that he's got. And if you look at these two fighters, there isn't that much size difference. Okay, the weight will be a bit different, but these fighters have been going through weight divisions quite similar. Yeah. You know, Canelo starts at 10 stone, goes to from light welterweight to welterweight to light middleweight. We've all seen the rise of Canelo. People are making out like Canelo is a fully fledged light heavyweight or a fully fledged super middleweight. He's been up and down. This guy has been.
Jordan reflects on this moment constantly as he analyzes the fight. He believes Crawford's skill, poise, and intelligence make him the kind of fighter who could beat Canelo convincingly. Jordan thinks this matchup could even shake Canelo's confidence. From that perspective, the fight is about more than a title, it's about legacy. If Jordan is right, boxing could be on the verge of its next major upset. Tony Bellew also shared his view on Canelo versus Crawford. He was clear, there will be a winner, and in his opinion, Crawford will take it, and do so comfortably. Bellew's prediction wasn't random, it was a firm statement. He feels Canelo isn't strong enough to overcome Crawford's skill. While some focus on size and power, Bellew highlights ring intelligence, timing, and flexibility as decisive. His confidence adds weight to the prediction, favoring Crawford. When experienced fighters speak with certainty, fans take notice. Bellew criticized Canelo for avoiding Crawford's record, especially against top opponents, and spoke of a memorable, clear victory that everyone would remember.
Okay, at the moment, he's the undisputed unified super middleweight champion. Is he the biggest super middleweight out there? Absolutely not, no. Is he even the biggest middleweight out there? No. So why is it when Terence Crawford goes in with him, and Terence Crawford's fought now at light middleweight, Madrimov, I think he'd be for one of the titles. So he's got to win over a big light middleweight, and he's got to win over an elite welterweight, a division that Canelo was at not so long ago. I just think people are writing him off because of the size factor. Canelo is the stronger man, there's no...
According to Bellew, Crawford's performance against Errol Spence left no doubt about his skill. Defeating a top welterweight champion at the peak of his career was truly impressive. Bellew also pointed out that Canelo and Crawford have had similar paths through the weight classes. His message was clear: size doesn't always tell the full story. This is a fight between two fighters who have faced similar challenges, and he sees Crawford holding the advantage. Bellew also questioned why fans treat Canelo as the biggest boxer in the division, highlighting the endless debate about size.
The biggest and the strongest man always won boxing matches. It'd be boring, wouldn't it?
It would be, exactly.
And we'd stop watching.
Don't forget that Canelo struggled against southpaws as well in the past, and
Bud's not consistently always a southpaw. He switches back and forth. He's got so many different facets to his style. He's an unbelievably talented fighter. I just think he'll be too much, and I also do think Canelo's not what he wants.
Even though Canelo is the undisputed super middleweight champion, Bellew emphasized that he isn't the biggest fighter in the division. According to him, the supposed size difference between Canelo and Crawford is exaggerated. Just because Canelo looks bigger and hits harder doesn't guarantee a win. Bellew pointed out that Crawford has already beaten bigger opponents, and size is the only reason some fans underestimate him, a mistake they pay for. He added that boxing would be boring if strength and size were all that mattered, highlighting instead the importance of skill, style, and adaptability.
Go to the judges' scorecard, but Canelo will be going for the stoppage. Once this gets past 8 rounds, Canelo's going to fear the cards, because
championship rounds will be exciting.
Looking from the outside, looking in, you know, Canelo seems like he's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet that Turkey al-Sheikh is favouring Crawford. You know, he's going on, oh, your daddy's this, and he's looking at that. And when you look into that, you're thinking in the back of his mind, he'd be like, I don't want to go to points here. I don't need to.
But the points are proved now. He wants, maybe we're going for that late stoppage.
He told fans that Crawford is a dangerous opponent because he can strike effectively with both hands, and Canelo has struggled in the past against smooth southpaws. Bellew believes that the ability to choose your shots is just as important as power, and Crawford has both. In his view, the way Crawford fights now gives him the edge. Even though Crawford is smarter than ever, Bellew thinks his multiple layers of skill will be too much for Álvarez. He also discussed how the later stages of the fight might unfold, saying that eventually, the truth about who's better will be revealed.
Oh, you're right. This is a 50-50 fight. This is a fight where, as I was telling the Uber driver this morning, these guys, we've seen them both make mistakes in the ring, but they've never cost them, right? This is the first fight that I believe they both have been are going to get in the ring where the small mistake is actually a big mistake against the opposer. So Canelo making a small mistake is actually a big mistake because Crawford actually has the ability to somehow know that that mistake is about to happen, and boom, there it is. Canelo, on the other hand, Crawford hasn't been known to get hit, especially early in fights. And Canelo is the kind of guy where, you know, he's going to come out and let his hands go. He's going to find moments to let his hands go. But when he finds those moments, you can't be caught slipping. You can't be caught sleeping. You can't be caught in between, do I go in, do I go out, make that small mistake against this guy right here, it becomes a monumental mistake, and that might be the last time you make a move that night. You know what I mean?
Thinks Canelo may be reluctant to take risks, while Crawford could push the fight to the judges to avoid leaving it to chance. Bellew expects Alvarez to try for a late stoppage. Both fighters are eager to prove themselves, which could make the championship rounds thrilling. Bellew also noted that Canelo's remarks at press conferences show he's under significant mental pressure. That stress could lead him to take risky moves, which is where Crawford could capitalize. Former world champion Sean Porter added that this is an extremely close fight, and it's the worst time for either fighter to make a mistake.